What's going on, guys? Spartan Willie here, and welcome to episode 21 of Season 2 in our Rebooting Ferrari Motorsport Manager F1 2020 mod series. Okay, so penultimate episode of Rebuilding Ferrari, of course. We can potentially wrap up the championship today. As you can see there, we've got a decent gap to Mercedes, so who knows, it could happen, but we sort of turned our eyes, we've got to sort of open our eyes to the Drivers' Championship as well. Of course, Ricciardo 14 points off Verstappen, Lewis not far behind as well, and Charles Leclerc leading the best of the rest after the front three, which is pretty good to see as well. Now, something I've noticed is we are not designing a new part at the moment, which is a bit of a waste of time. So we are sort of second in the front wing, pretty much first in everywhere else but the aerodynamic wings, which is easy because they're the shortest ones to make. So if we go here, we'll chuck on, well, softs, supers, and ultras. Well, that's pretty, yeah, that's us because we don't use mediums. So yeah, we'll chuck that on, and chuck that on. That should return us back to the top, hopefully, of the front wing build. It'll take 13 days, so ooh, it'll just make it in for a Yas Marina where it's crucial. So that was actually a decent little plan there. But we're going to go forward here. I assume we obviously are improving apart. Yep, rear wing. Fantastic to see. That might take us to the top, which would be pretty cool. It means it's just that front wing. But here we go. Are we top with our performance, with our rear wing, I mean? Yes, we are. So this car is becoming an absolute beast. It is by far the best car on grid now. It's to the point where I don't actually know what to work on. I guess we can work on the gearbox. Or maybe the front wing. Maybe that will take us to the top, but we don't really need a front wing here. So let's work on the new engine. Apparently we got a new engine that I didn't even know about. Oh yeah, it was from last time out, wasn't it? Yeah, that's right. So yeah, we've already chucked that on the car. Lucky I saw that then. If I didn't put that on, then we would have had a 40% engine for the race. So we'll do that, work on the reliability, and it's time for Brazil already. So second last race of this entire series. I'm excited for it. So I will see you for qualifying 3. Okay, Q1, Q2, and practice all wrapped up. It was pretty breezy. Leclerc looks very fast. Of course, we've pretty much equaled out the car now with a bunch of new parts. So they're driving pretty equal cars. So Leclerc is looking very fast. Ricardo a bit off the pace. Leclerc tops he second Q1, and Hamilton was top Q1. The Mercedes look fast again. But the only assumption I can take from the fast Mercedes is that they're cheating now. So, they've sort of got that sort of reputation on their own. So we're gonna just send them out, hope for 2 runs. I don't think we'll be able to get 3. I don't think we'll be a chance to get 3. But we'll definitely get 2. But we'll try and go for the 3. But yeah, such a long lap around here. It's pretty much impossible. But we'll send them out. We've got a bit of traffic here with the Red Bull, which is a bit of a pain. It is, oh, I don't know who it is, they're both in outlaps, but if it was Verstappen, at least we'd hold each other up. But Leclerc, we're going to ride on board Leclerc here, who's going green in both sectors on probably last session's time. And yeah, it was Verstappen. We've just held each other up there massively, so hopefully we can send him out into some clean air in the next run. We should probably send out Ricciardo now if we're going to try and get a 3rd run in. Send him out. There we go. Track grip's at the highest anyway. He's not missing out on anything. Right on board Ricciardo this time, because why not? He's right now in provisional pole. Hamilton almost half a second away. I don't know where his pace is going. I reckon he's had a bad lap there because he was much closer in practice. But as you can see there, not really improving. Not much to really improve on, to be honest. It was pretty quick if no one can get close to him. As you see Leclerc there, can only assume had clean air as well. And there is going to be time for a 3rd lap here if we send him out now. So it looks like we will get 3 runs, which is very surprising with a 1.5 lap. Leclerc might be a bit more touch and go, but we'll send him out straight away on a new set. And hopefully he makes it. He's going to have to push pretty hard to make it. With a minute to go on the session, he's still got a lot of corners to go. But comes across the final corner now, and he's going to make it. And we will get 3 runs here. So hopefully Leclerc can get in front of Hamilton and lock out that front row. That would be beautiful. Hamilton's going to improve on all sectors though, so it's going to be quite the challenge. Doesn't quite get Ricciardo for pole. Leclerc's not going to go faster in Sector 1. Will he go faster in Sector 2? No, he won't. And Ricciardo improves in his time, I believe. And Leclerc drops to 5th, which is a bit disappointing. And it seems to be the commentator's curse again. I look at say he looks fast, and he ends up having a bad qualifying session. But pole position for Daniel Ricciardo. Hopefully he can convert that to a race win and pretty much seal the constructors, but we won't say that just yet. We could have a DNF, you never know. It is still very much a possibility, so we're not going to get too ahead of ourselves here. But especially considering our performance here last year, I didn't check the weather, but I assume because everyone's locked onto these, it can't be too bad. Anyway, riding on board with Daniel Ricciardo. Hopefully Verstappen drops down the grid so Ricciardo can make gains on him. And the drivers, beautiful start for Ricciardo. He's gone. He is off, and away with Ricciardo. Beautifully done. Leclerc's shooting up the grid. Both Mercedes drop down. And Ricciardo is absolutely gone. You're not catching him now. Ricciardo with the best start, I think, this season. I've never seen a car start like that. He just sort of zoomed off, and that was it. You're not seeing this boy ever again. But tyres reaching optimals. Fastest lap with Ricciardo. Yeah, I felt that. I mean, it's the first lap, so we won't get too far ahead of ourselves. But now it goes purple in sector 1. I mean, everyone will go green in all sectors. Well, sector 1 at least. But on the second lap, obviously, because you start from a standing start on lap 1, don't you? Tell them to push on the fuel, because we seem to be really fast at the start of the race. Then when we turn the engines down, we lose a lot of pace. But as things stand, what's the maximum points you can get from a Grand Prix weekend? I'm trying to think. 27, because you get win fastest lap, plus 18. That is 45, isn't it? Yeah, 45. So they can get 45 points. This would secure the championship for us, which is beautiful to see. But drivers, it will keep Verstappen in the lead, but only by 2 points, which has set up quite a thrilling finale in Abu Dhabi. It doesn't really matter about Leclerc this race. If he's just going to get a points finish, that's fine. It'll wrap up the championship anyway. But tell him to turn his engine down. There's no point in him exerting all that fuel. We just got to keep Verstappen behind Ricciardo, because if Verstappen wins this race, the next race, there's nothing Verstappen can really do to stop him from winning the drivers. What's the gap? 7. It'll be a draw. But then we'll go down to race wins, which Ricciardo has bet him for race wins if he wins this race and next race. But if he gets the fastest lap as well, I'm just sort of thinking all these scenarios while we lap out in front. But as the fuel delta reaches an insane level, Leclerc will go into second. Is people pitted? It doesn't look like people pitted. Oh, Verstappen did, yeah. And now he's in traffic, so I kind of don't want to box now, because they'll put us out into traffic. Is there only rain today? No, no rain today. 49 laps. That is a 2-stop, actually. That is rare. I can't really remember what we did last time out, whether we 1-stopped or 2-stopped. But I'm assuming it was a 2-stop, because 1-stop doesn't really work. Only like last year. I know last race we did, it was like a wet period at the end, wasn't it? That was on Monday. Today's Thursday for me. But yeah, I sort of took my weekend recording break. You wouldn't even notice it, because I've uploaded daily anyway. But we're going to double pit now. What's the word? Stack. But there's about 16-second gap between them, so the drivers won't feel the effects of a stack, that's for sure. And Ricciardo gets a brilliant 1.9 pit stop. The pit crew, 1.8, just when you thought it couldn't get much better. Beautifully done by the pit crew there. And now, where are we in regards to Verstappen? Verstappen's 12.5 seconds behind us. Ricciardo. And someone else boxed, and Leclerc takes their position. And we still got Hamilton and Vettel to box behind us, behind Ricciardo. I should stop saying us. It's really not helping with the golden boy thing. And I've put Leclerc onto super softs on accident. But that's fine, because he can just finish on a super soft stint. Split the strategies, why not? It wasn't intentional. I was just talking my face off, and that's what happened. But Ricciardo hopefully can push well out in front of Verstappen here. Just in case there's a pit. I feel like he has to pit, but just in case he doesn't pit, we want to get as much of a gap as possible, because those 80% won't make it into the race. Like, what does Leclerc say? 41 laps, best case scenario, and there's 53 to go, and his tyres are in better condition than Verstappen. So I think it's a given that he has to stop again, but we'll see what the game throws at us. It has a bit of a history of not doing the predicted, which is fair enough. It's Formula 1, you know. Lewis Hamilton can make tyres last forever, it seems like. I mean, what was it in that race? He was basically driving on slicks, his inters were that worn. So yeah, F1 is very unpredictable like that. But in a game algorithm scenario, I think he has to box again. statistically, mathematically, is boxing. But yeah, 49 laps. Let's go on board Leclerc. I think Ricciardo's pretty set. And oh wow, he's on the podium, so that will definitely wrap things up. There's Verstappen is got second, obviously, so now he extends that gap to Ricciardo, which is not fantastic, but we'll deal with it. And the drivers, constructors. Sorry, I'm saying too many words here. The constructors championship is well and truly wrapped up, which means we would complete the challenge with a race to go. But, 45 laps, a lot can happen. A lot can definitely happen. But we're going to tell them to turn up the engines. Turn them up. How are the engine conditions going? We're not risking a retirement. Or maybe Ricardo's a little bit. We can repair that at the pit stop. So 10 seconds. It's sort of like a 10 split. 10 to Verstappen, 10 to Leclerc. Where's Albon? He's really fallen off the pace, which is eyes on the mediums. That's why. You don't go on the mediums if you're looking to be somewhat fast. You think the game would learn that by now, but they were actually doing a lot of running on the mediums, the Red Bulls, which I thought was interesting. And it looks like Ricciardo's tyres are well and truly off the cliff, but I'm still not confident we can get the softs all the way to the end. I mean, I think we could, but we're going to give it another lap on the softs. I know we could. I know we could get them to the end, but it just means we couldn't push, which is fine. This is Ricciardo's in lap. We're going to chuck him on the softs, recharge battery, might repair the engine as well, just because it's free and it needs to happen. So in he comes. We just won't tell him to push on pit exit. We'll just tell him to get him up on neutral driving strategy, just so we can keep him somewhat alive for 40 laps or so. And actually, they're going to come out and fight, and we're going to have to tell him to let Ricciardo through because they're in different strategies. It's the team thing to do because Leclerc's still got to pit again. So we have to just tell him to let him through. Come on, let your teammate through. Don't make this more than it has to be. Come on, Leclerc. It's the first time I've used team orders the entire series, but I want Ricciardo to win the drivers, and I don't want Leclerc messing with it. But if he can stay in front on, we're just going to tell him to turn him back up. If he can stay in front like that, then why not? Whatever, let him go in front. But we're telling him to let our teammate through. Because it's not really fair, because they're in different strategies, and one's fighting for the Drivers' Championship, so, I don't know. That's just my view on it. But it's not like Ricciardo's losing a lot of time. Leclerc's actually just being fast. So, yeah, we'll just go back to race. I tried to do team orders. Didn't really work, but yeah, he saved some tyre wear. Look at that. Going on backup. So his tyres got a bit longer. They won't go to the end, unfortunately, I don't think, for him. But, I mean, fortunately, because Verstappen's on a similar strategy, so if Leclerc goes to the end, then Verstappen will probably go to the end as well. Tell him to go back on neutral, get those tyres back up to temp, shark it in overtake. How's that engine looking? Decent. Overtake, got plenty of fuel to use. If we can overtake Verstappen on track, that'll be even better, but I doubt that will happen. How long can these tyres last? 26 laps, so we've got a bit of a while before we pit, which is good. Verstappen might have to go onto another set of softs if he pits in the next 3 or 4 laps, because he might not make it to the end on the super softs. You know what, knowing the AI, he'll probably go into mediums, There's a good chance he goes into mediums, as his tyres are now on 18, 17%, 16. Yeah, he's boxing this lap. Evan, put your money on what Verstappen goes onto. I have a cheeky feeling it'll be mediums. Yep. How do I know these things? I just know that they're going to go on mediums. It's just such a bizarre thing. I feel like I should show this just to be sure. Just so you know I'm not cheating. Look, it's on hard, it's unrealistic. I don't know why they go on mediums. It's just it's just a thing that they do. Make sure that's still the same. Sometimes when you click continue, the slider goes down the other end. I don't know, it's just something that happened to me once on single player, so I just want to make sure it stays the same. So can you actually change the slider mid-race? That seems very strange. And Verstappen's actually only like 5 seconds behind Ricciardo there, which is interesting. Ricciardo really fell behind on this soft stint. And we're going to tell Leclerc to box now onto the supers. Hopefully he can get Verstappen now that he's had a bit of a nightmare going onto the mediums. Tell him to repair every part, get that car as good as possible on safe, Basically, there's no time penalty for repairing parts unless there's a mistake. So you just want to make sure if you're repairing parts, chuck it on safe, just to be safe. And Ricciardo takes the lead. Leclerc's on 2 compound softs than Verstappen. Probably still won't be able to get past him knowing this game, but you know, logically he could probably get past. High fuel data with Danny Rick. Chuck it in overtake, mate. Why not? Now those times will definitely make it to the end. I didn't really check that. Oh, they might. They should. Nah, because we're going to have to conserve and stuff to keep them in temperature, so they should make it to the end. It'd be very unlucky if they didn't make it. But right now, Ferrari are champions for the first time since what? I'm going to say 2007, but I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a long time. I did know when the series started because I was going to use it in the intro, but I don't know if I said it. But yeah, I think it's 2007. Let me have a quick Google search. So yeah, while I Google search, we're in P1, P3. Conserve, keep those tyres in temp. This is a very boring race, but sometimes you just have a boring race to win the title. You know how it is. But last time Ferrari won F1. 2008 it says. But I remember reading 2008 and then 2008 F1 season. Tyres still in temps. Yeah, we're going to tell Leclerc to conserve for a bit longer on those tyres just so they make it to the end. And recognised. Who won it? Champion Ferrari. Yep, so Lewis Hamilton won the drivers and Ferrari on the team. So yeah, there you go. It was 2008, 2007. But yeah, I mean, it hasn't done it yet. We could have a retirement last 10 laps. I'm pulling your leg. Surely it's over now. Surely we've rebuilt Ferrari back to a championship team. That'd be fantastic. Verstappen is only 2 seconds in front of Leclerc now. And if Leclerc can get past Verstappen, that would be lovely. Because that would put Verstappen on the back foot, come Abu Dhabi next week. Make sure Ricciardo doesn't run out of fuel on the line. That'd be an absolute disaster. But here we go. Oh, not with a back foot, because he'd still be leading the championship. As someone's nabbed the fastest lap off him. Of Ricciardo, I think. It was Charles, his teammates, nabbed the fastest lap. The cheeky bugger. Oh well. Better Charles than anyone else, eh? He's on the super soft, so that was a possibility. And Ricciardo is actually on worn tyres now. Which is fair enough. Hopefully Leclerc can get Verstappen, but I think we'd be being pretty ambitious with that one. Looks like those mediums are holding out. They did do a lot of practice on the mediums, to be fair to them. But we're going to ride on board Ricciardo for the last couple of laps as he goes. This is looking like his, is it 7th race win of the season, which is insane. 7 race wins after last season, which we were battling for, was it 3rd place with Renault? Yeah, 3rd place with Renault. Insane how the tables have turned. But 2 laps to go. Ricciardo, who takes a massive step forward in his pursuit of 1st place in the Drivers' Championship, and a huge step. We're home. Ferrari will win the 2022 Constructors' Championship. I mean, it's in the game, it's 2018, but series will be fulfilled. We've done it in 2 seasons, turned the steaming pile of rubbish of the 2020 Ferrari car into an absolute race winner by 2022. Will it happen in real life? It could with the new regulations, but Ricciardo, last couple corners. Oh, it's a good feeling to be good at a game. You know, I haven't finished a series on this channel in my entire career, and here we go. We're about to finish it with a good outcome. Leclerc's tyres are absolutely dead. Ricciardo will win the Brazilian Grand Prix and wins the Constructors' Championship for Ferrari. What a day. And Leclerc will cross the P3 on tyres that were not even there with him at the end of the race. Verstappen is 2nd. And Ricciardo right now is 7 points behind Max Verstappen. Oof, intense scenes here. Red Bull will most likely get 2nd despite, or maybe if they have a DNF, then they can drop down to 3rd. But Ferrari, all the headlines will be talking about Ferrari after this race, surely. A massive long race, it took forever. We were recording for 17 minutes of the race. you're still watching now, you're an absolute champion, but it was a long journey, we've done it. What was it, 43 races? This is the 43rd race of the series. Ricciardo comes into the pit lane, hopefully, for the last time, without being a world champion. Next time he comes to the pit lane, he'll be a world champion, we hope. Down in Abu Dhabi. But scrutineering from Mercedes cheating? Probably. No, I don't think they were actually. Bottas, of course, crashed. That's right, yeah. Bottas crashed throughout the race. I didn't even comment on that. He was in 8th, but Hamilton ended up taking out the fastest lap. The cheeky bastard. But 1st and 3rd, I'm on the podium. Beautifully done. 7 seconds, and that's it. That is an unattainable gap, I'm pretty sure. If it isn't, I've been embarrassed here, but it is. I'm pretty sure it is. If we DNF and Red Bull get 1st or 2nd, the max amount of points they can get is 45, and there's more than 45 points between them. So we've done it. Tentatively, because it's a race earlier. So maybe the celebrations will start next week, as we still have quite a big... oh, hat-trick of wins. 3 races in a row. How's he actually? Oh, jeez. That's impressive. That's what happens when you leave like 3 days between each episode. You forget what happened last episode. But Ferrari well ahead in practice. Ricciardo grabs pole, and you use team orders in the race. I didn't really though. I really didn't, because I said to use it, and then they didn't use it, so I turned it off. In this case, I felt it was justified. It's true, I did feel it was justified, but it didn't work anyway. Are they going to talk about my standings win, or is it not a thing in the game, or have I not won it yet? I'm pretty sure I've won it. Let me just do some quick maths before I embarrass myself. So race win, plus fastest lap, plus 2nd place, 45. Yeah, no, we've won it. The game just hasn't recognised it yet, but that's fine. Unless it's double points final race, but I don't think it is. Front wing's done, beautifully. So we're going to go there and there. No, there and there. Because that front wing is sick. We want Ricciardo to have it, because it's got a little bit of a bonus as well on top of the performance on softs, supers and ultras. So new part, 10 days, not really much point, but we'll build one nonetheless. Another front wing, plus 10, plus 30, just in case we come back to the series. Maybe we can build a part, you know, come back for a 3rd season down the line, build another front wing. Why not? Build part, build. And I'm leaving that door open, by the way. If you ever want a 3rd season with Ferrari, maybe we can look at calling up Mick Schumacher. Maybe we can get Ricciardo to defend his crown. We'll see. But for now, this will be the final chapter with the room for a sequel. You know what I mean? So car repair done. Improve parts. Let's have a look. Let's improve brakes. No, let's not do brakes. What do we need? We need acceleration, gearbox. Well, that's fine, because we have a gearbox that has a lot of work that can be done on it. Lovely. That gearbox next race is going to be legit insane. We're going to just make sure Ricciardo is the best car possible to win this championship next time out. But that being said, I'm sort of getting into the next episode now. Sorry, this has been a really long episode, but there it is. 53-point difference to Red Bull. We've done it. So thank you for watching. Thanks for all the support. The support last week has been insane. So many people have commented. Yeah, so big thanks to everyone who's supporting the channel, helping me out. It means so much. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below whether you thought I could do it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.